the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
Leprechaun Soft Wash is the roof washing method that is safe and effective on shingles, tile, metal and shake roofs, vinyl, wood, aluminum, hardy board and stucco siding, driveways, pavers, and the list goes on. Leprechaun Soft Wash is fully insured and uses biodegradable cleaning products. Plus, Leprechaun Soft Wash offers a spot-free warranty on roof cleanings. Call 751-2325.
No more blimey roof stains with Leprechaun Soft Wash. 751-2325.
Cookies, 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 cookies. We go cookie eating cookies.
When you want something special and fun for any occasion, get cookies. King Cookie in the Paddock Mall in Ocala will make a delicious, fun-filled delight just for you. So next time you're in the mall, stop by King Cookie or call 352-237-2557. KingCookieOcala.com. Customized cookies, cakes, and more. King Cookie.
Eating cookies. We're so happy eating cookies. Cookies!
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Gene and Debbie would like to thank you for another successful year of business. We want to wish everybody a safe, healthy, and prosperous 2017. We are ready to be of service with our pasture mowing. 352-629-2440. Locally owned and operated. Experienced and reliable. Commercial and residential. Licensed and insured. Powell Gene, Gene at yahoo.com. 352-629-2440. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. 352-629-2440. Proud United States veteran.
All right, 9 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. We'll have to go straight to the to our guest. I wasn't able to have a moment off the air to chat with Andrew Faas, but he's on the phone right now. Andrew has written a book. He's on the phone. We'll have him on the air. He's written a book called From Bully to Bullseye. I was looking at the book, and I was thinking to myself, you know, we focus so much on bullies in the school place where children go to school. You would think that, you know, as we become adults, the whole bullying thing goes away, you know, as adults, but it doesn't. Apparently, you know, it still happens. I don't know. You know, I'm kind of stuck in this studio all day, so there's no bullying here at this radio station, is there, Robin?
No, I don't think so. I think we're pretty decent over here.
I'm not trying to make light of it. I'm sure it does happen, though. I mean, not, and maybe probably in some radio stations. I don't know. Have you ever heard of anybody who has apologized, like they went back to the kid they picked on when, like, maybe they're 30 now and they're thinking, oh my gosh, when I was 12 I used to pick on this kid all the time, and let me see if I can find him on Facebook, and they say, hey, I'm the guy who picked on you when you were 12. I'm so sorry. Gosh. Have you ever heard of those guys?
No.
I've heard of that. One of these talk shows did a whole piece on this, you know, where people were apologizing. Andrew Faas is the founder of the Faas Foundation. He's partnering with the Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence on the groundbreaking initiative Emotion Revolution in the Workplace. He's a management advisor promoting psychologically healthy, safe, and fair workplaces. He partnered with Mental Health America. He's a philanthropist, which means he gives away money, Robin. And he's written a book called From Bully to Bullseye, Move Your Organization Out of the Line of Fire. This is probably more of an important topic than I can imagine, simply because I'm kind of isolated doing a radio show. Good morning, Andrew. How are you?
Excellent. How are you?
I'm okay. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Palm Beach.
Palm Beach. Well, you got nice weather, because you must have nice weather, because we've got nice weather.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it really is in Florida. We're in a good state right now, aren't we? This whole winter, we've been escaping everything the rest of the country's been getting. So tell me about the problem. I mean, do we have bullies in the workplace, and are they often our superiors? Are they often our equals? Who are they?
Well, according to our research, 70% of bullying at work is boss to subordinate. But if you take the players in bullying, it's often the coworkers who are bystanders to the bullying and also become complicit in it.
Oh. Really? You know, we this goes back a long time ago, but do you remember the song Abraham Martin and John? That was written by a friend of mine named Dick Holler. And he had a lesser-known song called My Friend Joe. And I just want to recite some of the words because it came to mind. In his song, he says, my friend Joe, how could he know about the rotten games that they play there? Now that they got him, they start him at the bottom and they make damn sure that he stay there. And it's about his friend Joe, who's getting bullied all the time at the workplace. So this is kind of like right up your alley. So, so what do we do? I mean, as a psychologist, what do you think needs to be done? Do you just quit if you're the one being bullied?
No, and that's the advice that people usually give to people who are going through this at work. And the advice that I normally give, and by the way, I'm not a psychologist or a wannabe psychologist.
Okay.
But I am an expert in organizational dynamics and human dynamics. Which are not mutually exclusive and really outline the reason bullies bully. But one of the things that I found is most people who are targeted do not realize what is going on until it's too late. And when it is too late, they've usually fallen into a trap because of the harassment or abuse that they suffer at the hands of the bully. Turns them into what the bully wants them to become, a poor employee with a bad attitude. And when people fall into that trap, it's hard to get out. And as you described in the song, that they either stay at the bottom or are forced out of the organization.
Right. So in the book, I was talking about how in I don't remember what TV show it was, but one of these talk shows, Oprah or something like that, they had a panel of guys who basically, and there was one lady who basically said, "I was the bully, and I'm apologizing to the person I bullied." You were the bully, weren't you?
I was early in my career. I was a bully.
Yeah,
and it was the most important lesson I ever learned. And fortunately, it was early in my career. I was 26, but I thought that was because of the culture. That was the way to get ahead. And I was told in a very polite but very firm, in a firm way, that. It's going to go the other way if you continue on with it.
And I remember reading in that book, reading it in the book, and my thought was, I would immediately, if I was the boss, I would have fired you. But you must have been valuable to the company. So while you were being a thorn in the side, you were also helping them accomplish their mission, which was to make money.
Yes. And I had a coach who practiced emotional intelligence before it became a kind of a buzzword.
Right.
But the lesson it taught me is that, and served me well throughout my career, is that respect is a far more powerful motivator than fear. And when you boil it down, people who are bullied or targeted, I should say, they live in fear. And the whole premise of creating psychologically safe workplaces is eliminating that, or reducing or eliminating that fear.
And that's what's really sad about being the bully, though, because all of a sudden the conscience of the bully disappears and he can't feel any feelings.
Well, I'll use myself as an example, and it's followed me, it didn't serve me well. But the manner reminded me of what I learned in kindergarten. And that is the ethic of reciprocity. Do unto others as you would have them do unto me.
Right.
And, unfortunately, as we age and progress or regress, we've lost that principle.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I wonder how many times a person who bullies habitually, just somebody who's a bully, bullies somebody who is not their sex, a man bullying a woman, let's say, or a man bullying somebody who's not his race, and the person who's the one being bullied perceives it as either like sexual discrimination or racial discrimination, and meanwhile you're a bully to everybody.
Yeah.
and I wonder how many times that happens. Has that ever happened to you?
Well, it hasn't. I'm openly gay. I'm married to a same-sex partner, and I can honestly say that I have not been overtly bullied, and it's not helped. It has not hindered my progress in terms of career advancement.
Okay. I may have misunderstood you. You said you were bullied, or you have not been bullied?
I have not been bullied for being gay or out, but I had been bullied for blowing the whistle on a corrupt executive.
Oh my!
Oh really? Well, but maybe he needed to be bullied or something. Or no, maybe he needed
the whistle.
Yeah, maybe he needed to have the whistle blown. I don't know.
Well, he definitely needed the whistle to be blown on him, but the board was reluctant to do anything about it because they were being bullied by him, and he survived another 18 months. And during that time, I was targeted by him even after I left the organization. My phones were hacked into or tapped. My emails were hacked into. I received a death threat. I was shunned by associates. I was blackballed in the Canadian business community. And I went through sheer hell.
Wow.
I lost 30 pounds. I had a serious case of shingles, and it was horrible.
So how has that? How is the experiences that you've shared with us so far? And I know it's just scratching the surface because it's the nature of a radio interview. But how have those experiences, whether you were bullied or you were the bully, formed you into the person you are today, and how do you share that in the book so that we can benefit from them?
Well, just adding a little bit to the my being bullied, even when it was over and settled to my satisfaction, I could not find closure. And I dealt with such negative energy that somebody gave me an awakening and said, you've got to get out of this rut. And we talked about it and said, the best thing you could do is to talk about your experiences. If you had difficulty handling it with your background, how on earth do people who don't deal with it? And that really opened up I didn't have the intention of writing a book per se.
Yeah, but that's a good reason to. Yeah,
a good reason. But it opened up a discussion and a debate on a topic that was very much under the radar.
And your book provides guidance. And because sometimes when people feel bullied, they're going to quit that job and try to go somewhere else. But maybe that bully persona might follow them from job to job, and they're not addressing the real problem.
Well, it's a small world out there, and when you go to particular industries, the industry or sector is usually very tight. So when somebody quits or is fired because of a bullying situation, it follows them, and they are blacklisted. And so to give a person advice, well, just get out of it. Not everybody has the wherewithal to do that, and go where. And they could go to an even worse situation. So the key is and the advice I give anybody that is going through this or is targeted, is to not deal with it alone. talk to somebody that you can relate to. I caution against going to human resources at this point. Because what I found in over 80% of the cases that I'm aware of, human resources is part of the problem versus part of the solution. Oh. And therein lies, a huge issue in organizations, but it's also a real opportunity because human resources should be the first person goes to, or a group goes to, faced with the thing.
Are the attitudes in nonprofit corporations different than the for-profit corporations?
And they're both same. The dynamic in a nonprofit organization is more in its governance model, where people are on the board or a trustee of the organization, and they get involved in the day-to-day run of the organization, and that dynamic is
breaking up a little bit, Andrew.
And harassment.
Andrew, let me ask you a question. This morning there was a story about John Kerry making a formal apology to the LGBT community, and this is just this morning in this morning's news, and he says these actions were wrong then, just as they would be wrong today. Kerry made that statement issued by the department in his name. He said, "On behalf of the department, I apologize to those who were impacted by the practices of the past." Clearly, that sounds like he's apologizing for bullying, even though the word bullying wasn't being used, which is a good thing. I mean, it's a wonderful example to set, whether you like John Kerry or not. Get politics out of it. Yeah. It's a nice, dignified way of saying, "Gosh, I was the one wrong." We had a story in a Facebook friend who I actually know, who did a show here for a little while, posted on Facebook that his son was bullied in school because his son is gay, and so he gives his boyfriend a hug in the class, or I'm sorry, before class, and the other kids were picking on him, and it was a big deal. He ended up getting suspended from school, and meanwhile the complaint was that the principal didn't do anything to the bullies, just to the kids who were being bullied.
Yeah.
And I wonder, in your whether it's that kind of bullying for that reason or for any reason, does an apology? Oh gosh, does it make it? Does it make everything okay? Does it like if when you get an apology, if you apologize to the people you bullied, or if the people who bullied you sat down with you and said, "Look, I am so sorry. I was so whatever. I was so arrogant, or whatever was the reason." Or so ambitious, I just wasn't thinking. I mean, does the apology make a difference?
Well, apologies always make a difference, and I would pay more attention to what an organization does so that these situations don't reoccur. And it goes back to the question as to why bullies bully. Bullies bully in an organization because they are allowed to. And I advocate organizational transformations where it is just not, it's not just a matter of putting a zero tolerance policy in.
Well,
change culture where people are welcomed regardless of ethnic background, religion, color, orientation. It's a environment where people are measured based on what they do and how they do it versus what they like. It's an environment where people do not have to constantly look over their back for fear that they're going to be the next person that's knocked off.
That's right.
And it's an environment where people can express their opinions, their ideas, their grievances in an open, honest, and direct way, and they're heard. And if you can create an environment like that, that becomes a psychologically safe work environment. And bullies are serial bullies, if you will, cannot live and survive in that kind of environment. Now people and it does go outside of their value system.
Andrew, we're running out of time, but I want to congratulate you because you have brought to this show a subject that has never been brought to us before. Bullying has. But bullying in the workplace clearly has not been addressed. So if you're a first for us, you're probably a first for a lot of the shows you talk to, and for a lot of the people who are listening, they've probably never heard this addressed before. So thank you for doing that. It's an important topic, and it's right in line with today's news. The book is called From Bully to Bullseye. Call me if you want the copy that was sent to me. It's written by Andrew Faas, Faas, as in Sam, and I will give it to you. The rest of us have to buy it, though. Did you have a website we can go to?
Yes, Andrew Faas, that's FAAS.com.
Okay, AndrewFaas.com. We'll put this podcast up on the internet, and we'll make sure we attach the website to it. Andrew, thank you for being on the air with us today. Do you live in Canada, and you're visiting Florida? What's going on?
Yes, I live in Toronto and in St. Andrews, New Brunswick, and that's in the winter time or summertime. And spring and fall, and I live in Palm Beach in the winter.
Ah, smart move. Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity again to keep the debate and discussion on a topic that has been very much on the radar, and bringing it out, and hopefully will help people create psychologically safe workplaces.
Little by little, we're trying to become a better human race, aren't we? Andrew, thank you for being on the air with us today. We will be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Interruptions and protests peppering the start of the confirmation hearing for Senator Jeff Sessions, the president-elect's pick for Attorney General. Some protesters wearing mock KKK costumes. Senate colleague Democrat Cory Booker will testify against Sessions, expressing concerns about his voting rights record. Senator